Ever since I was born, I have been seeing this pink ribbon everywhere. My mom used to buy one for me and put it on me when I was little because she thought it looked cute, and I agree. But lately, this bow has only been popping up in bad situations or when something bad is about to happen. I've been realizing that maybe this bow is a curse. See, for example, this one time I was out on a walk when I saw this exact same pink ribbon in a bush. I thought it was cute that someone else also had a pink ribbon like mine at home. But then, a second later, I hear someone scream. A terrifying scream. I look around and see a masked man running with a bloody knife. I froze and didn't know what to do. The next day, it was on the news. A teenage girl had been stabbed by a man late at night. I was scared and terrified. Another situation was when I was at school arguing with a classmate when I saw a girl with the exact same pink ribbon in her hair walk by. 1 second later, my classmate that I was arguing with fell to the floor and started to get a seizure. I've told my mom about this suspicion of the pink ribbon, but she then gave me this weird smile, and her pupils became very big.
And Mom?
Oh, sorry, love. What did you say?
Oh, nothing.
After that, I thought that I might be crazy and delusional, so I got it off my mind and moved on from it. I should have never have done that, because one night, as I was getting ready for bed, I saw the pink ribbon lying on my dresser. It was just there, as if it had been waiting for me. I decided to hide it in a drawer, out of sight. Maybe that would help me forget about it. But the next morning, the ribbon was back on my dresser. I started to get even more paranoid. Everywhere I went, I saw pink ribbons. This time, it was everywhere, on people's bags, in shop windows, even on TV commercials. It was as if the ribbon was haunting me. I decided to investigate. I went to the local library and started looking for any references to pink ribbons and curses. I found an old book about local legends and superstitions. One of the legends talked about a cursed ribbon that brings misfortune to those who possess it. The description matched my ribbon perfectly. I took the book home and showed it to my mom. Her reaction was strange.
Mom, look at this. It talks about a cursed ribbon. I think it's the same one.
Oh, darling, you worry too much. It's just a story.
I couldn't shake off the feeling that she knew more than she was letting on. A few nights later, I had a vivid dream. In the dream, I saw my mom tying the pink ribbon around my wrist when I was a baby. She was whispering something in an unfamiliar language. I woke up in a cold sweat. The next day, I confronted her.
Mom, what is this ribbon? Why did you give it to me?
All right, it's time you know the truth. The ribbon was given to me by my grandmother. It's been passed down in our family for generations. It's meant to protect us, but it comes with a price.
A price? Mom, what kind of price?
The price is that everyone around you slowly dies, including me. I wanted to keep this from you so you wouldn't try to destroy it.
Wait. Excuse me. What? I have so many questions. Everyone around me dies, including you, my own mom, and you chose to keep this a secret from me?
Yes, I know, Amor, but
But you said this curse can be destroyed? Tell me how right now.
yes, it can be destroyed, but I'm not letting you do that. You have to pass this down to your daughter and so on. It's family tradition.
Oh my gosh, I don't care. I'm destroying it no matter if you like it or not.
I said as I ran downstairs to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and started to cut it.
No, Daisy.
My mom screamed, her voice filled with a mix of desperation and fear. But I didn't stop. I couldn't. The pink ribbon seemed to resist the blade, almost as if it was alive, twisting and writhing in my hands.
Why does this matter so much to you?
I shouted, struggling to keep my grip. The knife barely made a scratch. I could feel the pulse of the curse, a dark energy radiating from the ribbon, trying to push me away.
It's not just about tradition, Daisy.
My mom pleaded, tears streaming down her face.
It's about protection. Destroying it could unleash something far worse.
I paused, my heart racing.
Worse? Worse than losing everyone I love?
Mom took a step closer, her hands trembling.
You don't understand? This curse binds a greater evil. If you destroy the ribbon, you could release it into the world.
My mind raced, trying to make sense of her words.
Then why didn't you tell me? Why did you keep this secret? I could have helped. We could have found another way.
She shook her head, her expression filled with regret.
I thought I was protecting you, but you're right, Daisy. We should have faced this together.
I looked down at the ribbon, my resolve wavering.
So what do we do now?
Mom took a deep breath.
We find a way to break the curse without destroying the ribbon. There must be something in the old family journals, something we've missed.
I nodded, finally letting the knife drop to the floor.
Okay, Mom. We'll figure this out together.
As we walked towards the attic, where the old family journals were kept, I couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, we could end this curse without bringing more harm. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like we were truly a team. In the attic, we found the dusty old trunk that held generations of family secrets. As we sifted through the ancient, yellowed pages, a strange calm settled over us. We were on the right path, and for the first time, I felt like we had a real chance at breaking the curse.
Look at this.
Mom said, pulling out a faded journal.
This one belonged to your great-great-grandmother. She was the one who first received the ribbon.
I took the journal, my fingers tracing the delicate handwriting. As I began to read, a sense of purpose filled me. The answer was here, hidden in the past. Together, we would uncover it and finally break the chain that had bound our family for so long.
As I turned the brittle pages of my great-great-grandmother's journal, I felt a cold shiver crawl up my spine. The ink had faded, but her words carried the weight of centuries of fear and desperation. Journal entry, 1897.
Today marks the 50th year of this curse. The ribbon's power grows stronger, and with it, the malevolence it binds. I have discovered something peculiar, a ritual, incomplete and cryptic, yet it hints at salvation.
Mom, look at this.
I said, pointing to a section written in a different ink, as if added hastily.
She mentions a ritual.
Mom leaned in, squinting at the text.
A ritual, but it seems incomplete.
Maybe there are more entries.
I suggested, flipping through the pages quickly. Each entry seemed to unveil a piece of a larger puzzle. Then, finally, we found it. Journal entry 1901.
The ritual requires 3 elements: a drop of our blood, a piece of the ribbon, and the light of the full moon. There's a way to temporarily transform the curse into a good luck charm, shielding the bearer from harm. But the ritual is dangerous and must be performed at a sacred place, an island with a hidden blue lagoon connected to the ocean.
Mom's eyes widened.
A good luck charm. This could be our way out.
But it says it's dangerous.
I pointed out, my voice trembling.
We need to follow this guide.
I said, holding up a map tucked into the journal. It led to an island surrounded by a rainforest and jungle, with an underground cave where the Blue Lagoon was located.
We don't have a choice.
Mom replied, determination in her voice.
We need to do this.
The next evening, under the cover of darkness, we took a small boat and made our way to the island. The journey was treacherous, the waves crashing against us, but we pressed on. By the time we reached the shore, the moon was high, its light guiding us through the dense foliage. We followed the map closely, navigating through the thick jungle until we found the entrance to the underground cave. The air was damp and cool as we descended, the sound of our footsteps echoing off the stone walls. Finally, we reached the Blue Lagoon, its waters glowing eerily under the moonlight.
This is it.
Mom said, her voice barely a whisper.
Are you ready?
I nodded, though my heart was pounding. We held hands, stepping to the edge of the lagoon. As the clock struck midnight, we jumped into the water. The cold enveloped us, and I felt a strange tingling sensation as bubbles began to form around us. The water churned, and I felt the dark energy of the curse being drawn out of the ribbon and our family heirloom. For a moment, I thought it was working. But then something changed. The water turned darker, and the bubbles became more violent. I tried to swim to the surface, but an unseen force held me down. Panic set in as I realized we had been deceived. Mom's eyes widened in terror as she struggled beside me. The transformation was quick and brutal. Our bodies twisted and changed, scales forming on our skin, our legs merging into tails. We had become sirens, creatures of the deep, cursed to lure and kill those who ventured into the ocean. We broke the surface, gasping for air. The lagoon was silent once more, the eerie glow gone. The journal had tricked us, turning our hope into a nightmare. We swam back to shore in silence, the weight of our new reality settling in. The curse had not been broken, but had changed into something far worse. We were no longer human, bound to the ocean and its dark call. As we reached the shore, I looked at Mom, her eyes filled with a mixture of sorrow and resolve. We could never return to our old lives. Emma Cameron was a famous influencer. She filmed and vlogged on TikTok. She posted get ready with me's and routines on her YouTube channel. Everyone adored and loved her. She was so sweet and kind. Emma loved to party. She partied every weekend. She would party alone and with her friends. Emma was also very popular in school. She had many boys after her, and a lot of girls wanted to be her. She was living a fantastic life. She had family, friends, money, and fame. One day, when Emma was in class talking with her friends, the teacher came in. He announced to the fellow class that there will be a new girl joining the school. Everyone was so excited, and so was Emma. She wasn't worried at all that the new student might take her place. Emma was always gonna be the star. But when the girl entered the classroom, everyone gasped and was so mesmerized by the new girl. Her beauty, her confidence, and her grades were better than Emma's. The new girl, Victoria, was head of the class and became loved very fast. She also started a TikTok account and a YouTube channel. Her accounts blew up overnight. She gained millions and millions of followers, more followers than Emma. She became so popular and known. Emma's friends started to become distant with Emma since she was no longer the queen. Victoria was. All the boys that were after Emma was now after Victoria. Every boy wanted to date her, and all the girls wanted to be her friend. This made Emma so mad and jealous. How dared Victoria take away Emma's spotlight? Later that day, Emma came up with a plan. 2 days later, Emma asked Victoria if she could have a word with her. Victoria happily agreed to talk to her. She pulled Victoria aside and told her, "I'm gonna be the last thing you will ever see."
I'm gonna be the last thing you will ever see.
Victoria was confused and asked her what she was talking about. Emma grabbed out a sharp knife and stabbed Victoria while covering her mouth so no one would hear her screams. She let out an evil laughter. Blood was quickly covering Victoria's uniform as she was dying a painful death. Victoria's body dropped to the floor. 2 days later, Victoria was reported missing. Everyone was so worried, while Emma was so satisfied, knowing that everything she had before Victoria took it away would come back. Remember this girl? This is Emma Cameron, the girl who murdered Victoria. And a year after the incident, Emma became popular again. She started posting on TikTok and YouTube again. She got her fame back, just like she wanted. All the boys wanted her again, and all the girls either wanted to be her or be her friend. Even her old friends wanted to hang out with her again. She was happy. One day, she was walking home from school when she suddenly felt uneasy. She felt as if someone was following her. She got a bit weirded out by the feeling and the thought. But the second she got home, she didn't think much of it and brushed it off. She was tired, so she decided not to eat dinner and go straight to bed to take a nap. But when she was walking into her bedroom, she noticed that her window was open. She was sure that she had closed it before she went to school. Emma decided not to overthink it. She probably just was clumsy and forgot to close it before she headed out. She closes the window and gets a shiver. The wind was blowing in fast. It was cold.
Damn, that was cold.
But then, when Emma turned around, she saw someone. There Victoria was, standing with a bloody axe. The blood was so fresh that it was dripping down onto the floor, as if she had already used the axe.
I thought I killed you.
Oh, Emma, you did. You brutally murdered me. It hurt, but one thing that you didn't know was that I'm not a human.
Emma gets so terrified. She screams. The next day, Emma and her 2 friends were found dead. The police has no sign of any person that could have killed them, and no one will know that it was Victoria.
I was a very famous influencer. When I announced that I was pregnant, I knew that my fame would rise and I would get attention.
Congratulations, you have a healthy baby girl.
My baby looked nothing like me, and even worse, she was overweight already. Are you sure that's my baby?
I'm sure. She's about 7 pounds overweight, but that's all.
As soon as the doctor left, I knew I had to get rid of my child. Nobody online could know that such a hippo could possibly be mine. A few days later, I took her to the beach. As I struggled to hold her heavy body, I walked down the pier and dropped her into the water. As I walked back, I felt no guilt whatsoever. A few years later, I decided to try again for a baby.
Congratulations.
This time, my baby was stunning. She looked identical to me. Me and my daughter had a very special bond. Everyone on my socials agreed. I decided to take her to my favorite place, the beach. As soon as we arrived, she started crying. It's okay, sweetie. Look how pretty the sunset is. I walked down the pier so she could get a better view, but she started crying even more.
Please don't throw me off this time. I'm pretty now.
It's 2020.
It was a Thursday evening when my parents told me that they are going out for dinner. I was not bothered about it, since they always went out for dinners. But this particular night, everything turned so strange. My parents seemed to forget details about me. I did not think about it too much and went to change into my pajamas. I switched the TV on and switched the channel to the news channel.
In a tragic accident. It is
This
so
is
sad
when
and
I
very
realized
uneasy.
my parents were in a fatal car crash that night. Who are the people in my house? Once upon a time, there was two girls that lived with each other. They were best friends. They grew up together and have always been by each other's side. They never fought. But then one day, everything changed. Luna started acting different. She started coming home super late at night. When Leah asked her why she came home so late, Luna just dodged the question and told her that she was just checking the alarm system. They don't have one. A few days later, when it came to the time when Luna usually goes out, Leah followed. They walked for a while, distant from each other, Leah hoping that Luna wouldn't catch her. All of a sudden, Luna stopped, looking around and then grabbing something from the bushes. Leah started to get creepy vibes. It was cold and the wind was blowing. What Luna then grabbed from out of the bushes shocked Leah to the core. It was a dead body. Luna started sucking the blood out of it by the neck. Like a vampire, nothing could have prepared Leah for this. Leah was absolutely terrified and could not think properly. She started running. She ran and she ran and she ran. Finally, she was home. She was about to take her first steps on the porch, but something was covering the door. Or should I say someone?
Leah was a famous influencer. People enjoyed watching her content, but ever since she became famous, she heard cameras flashing from her window. She chose to ignore it,
which was a big mistake.
One day she was out with her friends. They got stopped by two boys.
Hey, aren't you that Leah girl? We love your channel.
Yeah, especially your secret channel.
What secret channel? Whatever.
She searched up her name and found an account that posted everything she did in private. From stretching to texting her friends, even to her sleeping. She told her parents immediately.
Mom, Dad, I'm so scared. I don't want to live here anymore.
So they packed everything up and moved out. But while she was unpacking at their new house, she heard something.
Told me to buy a pony, but all I wanted was you.
Yeah, I've been taking care of this field for 20 years.
I have always had perfect skin, while my best friend had horrible acne and a long line of skincare. I only ever needed to use water and a Gul Shah. My mother had called me, so I left the room. Little had I known that when I left, my best friend sprayed bleach on my Gul Shah. When I returned, I used my Gul Shah. I didn't know why my best friend was smiling until my face started burning painfully. My best friend stood there and laughed while I cried. When the paramedics arrived, I noticed her still laughing while the paramedics wrapped bandages around my perfect skin.
After my mother passed away, my dad got a new girlfriend. She was gorgeous and always took care of me. One day, she gave me a pink ribbon and tied it around my neck. I had worn this ribbon for as long as I can remember. At school, at home, at the beach. And I never questioned why, until one night my father went out for drinks, and I was left alone with his girlfriend. So I asked her, why do I have to wear this ribbon? Her facial expression changed.
You're not gonna take it off, are you?
I ran away to my bedroom, slowly untied the ribbon, and my head fell off. After my mother passed away, I never get attention in school. No one ever notices me. I try to get people's attention, but they ignore me. So I faked my illness, just so they could look at me for once. Everyone was shocked, even the teacher. She asked me what happened, and I told her I have an illness. She was so concerned and told my mom about it. My mom was shocked. When I came home, my mom was there crying about my illness, begging to take me to the hospital. I couldn't let her know that I was faking it. I got rushed to the hospital, and they were checking me out. My mom rushed to me and said,
Sweetie, I'm sorry, but you have cancer.
How can this be true?